Hi, and welcome to Elise Talks. So this is the second video in a series that I'm doing on stress mindsets and stress awareness. So if you watched the previous video or the other video that I put out, this is going to tie into some of those concepts. So the last time I talked about what our mindset is around stress and how we can identify that not all stress is negative. I also talked about finding some awareness of how you feel stressed in the body. So today I want to address the thoughts behind what stress is doing in the mindset and what further mindset. I think that if we can identify some things in our lives that are really causing us to feel heavy, to feel excessively tired, to feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we find ourselves in these scenarios where the phone rings or we see a text message and we're like, oh my gosh, I just can't, I want to avoid it. I don't, whatever that is, I don't want to deal with it. If we don't pay attention to those things, quite often we move into a stage of burnout where we're starting to shut down and we get manically overactive, or we get to that shut way down. No matter how much I sleep, I just want to sleep more and can't deal with it. We're calling in sick to work, or we're avoiding the things that are our basic things that we have to get done. So, we have to have a look at how we're doing and identify the things that are triggering stress in our lives, good or bad, and start to realize, okay, so part of the things we have to realize about them is it something that we have to accept? Are there things that are happening in our lives that we can't possibly change? In the previous video, I talked about what a typical Saturday is like for me and all the things that I'm trying to do and run around and accomplish. Once I understand and once I make a personal level of acceptance about that, is that this is part of my life. This is something that is required. I can recruit, I can pull. In that scenario, I can say to my family, hey, you know what? You guys got to help. You got to chip in here. I can become more accepting of the scenarios. I can also become accepting of why I'm making the sacrifice to feel stressed out one day so that I can free up another day. The next thing you have to do is be a little more forgiving with yourself and create a scenario of personal empathy. So sometimes there's things that we're stressed out about that we just simply have no control. We are not able to change the circumstances. Most of us have to get up and go to work every day. Most of us have to meet the responsibilities of looking after the necessities of life. If you have a partner or children or even pets, things that you're responsible to take care of, you realize right away, there's some stuff I just can't get out of, or work responsibilities making it, that's the same thing. We have to face some of these things that are stressful that maybe aren't things that we're choosing, but they're very real to us. So we need to be forgiving of the fact and give ourselves permission to say, this is tough. I don't have to love every minute of it. I don't have to just give into it and let it run over me. I need to be aware of the things that I can do to slow myself down, take a pause, take a break every once in a while, and find some little tiny things in there that will help me mitigate the overwhelm and the potential for burnout. For me, some of those things are quite literally stopping. I talked about that in the last video where I have to lay down sometimes and just let the stress muscle stop irritating me. I will do the same thing with breathing. A little while ago, I came into work one morning at the facility that I manage, and I came in and the sun was coming in through the windows, and there was an exercise ball just kind of sitting in the middle of the floor. And I wasn't even feeling really, really overwhelmed or stressed out, but I was like, oh man, this is the perfect moment. And I rolled that ball right into the sun, and I literally just threw my stuff in my office and went and I sat on that ball, and I closed my eyes and I just took it in. I just took 5 minutes. I don't even know how long. I just closed my eyes, felt the sun on my face, and paid attention to my breathing. And it was so therapeutic. I felt like when I got up off that ball, I walked into my office. I felt ready to do the things I needed to do. I felt like, I'm good. The day's going to go well. And it was just kind of like a little battery recharge. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. So being kind to yourself, accepting those moments when you feel like you need to stop, put your face in the sun, pay attention to your breath, step out of your office, go get a refreshed drink or coffee, whatever it is you need to do, create those little pauses, those little breaks. And if there's nothing that like comes to mind right now, sit down and think about it a little bit. It's really beneficial to stop and make a plan, to think about like, you know, I know on this particular or in these circumstances that I face all the time that I feel stressed out, or I feel irritated, or I feel like I just am like, I get partway through that task and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't. I can't. Make some plans for those things. Have some resources close by that will prepare you or will help you be prepared to manage them. This is like James Clear's habit stacking concept. It's the same sort of mindset of like, I know I'm going to run into this, so what am I going to do to prepare for this, to prepare for this, to prepare for this? It's the same concept. You know you're going to run into stress. You need to have a little plan for it. So you're going to identify good or bad stress. Can I handle this? Probably I can. I'm going to be forgiving with myself if it feels overwhelming, or if I have a few minutes of like, ugh, I hate this task, I don't want to do it. You're going to have some of those resources in place personally that help you to manage those things, whether it be deep breathing, the movement, looking out a window, getting outside for a minute, whatever it is you're going to do. Make the plan, make sure the resources are handy and viable, and move into it, okay? You can do it. You can do that. So manage the stress. Think about those steps that we've talked about and move forward with it. Not all stress is good. Not all stress is bad, but is without doubt going to happen to every one of us. So find a way, make a plan, and just take some of that burden off your shoulders, okay? I know you can do it. I know it's really effective. If you want to go back and try watch the other video if you haven't watched it, or you want to check out the stress detection meditation that's on the Russell Wellness Group site, there's a little button there that will take you into that, and give it a shot, see how you feel, okay? Feedback, comments, love to hear it. Give it a try, and we'll see you soon.